Hey everybody, this is Jim at SP500chart.com. It's about 2:30 on Sunday afternoon, January 19th, 2020, and we're going to take a look at the chart of the S&P 500 ending January 17th. We're going to sort of do our weekend review, and before we do that, let me remind you, as always, the website and the video are for educational purposes only. Nothing stated at the site or in this video is intended to be used as investment advice. I can draw lines on charts, but you have to draw your own conclusions from your own research and make investment decisions that are suitable for your personal financial situation. I am not a licensed financial professional. I'm just a guy who draws lines on charts. So let's take a look. Starting out here on a daily chart, and what that means is each of these little candlesticks on here is 1 day of trading. This takes us all the way back to August of 2018, where we had that really deep setback, it seemed. And after that sort of worked its way out, you'll recall we looked at this area right here and said that sure looks like an inverted head and shoulders pattern. And there were some other patterns along the way that we spotted very nicely. But remember, once we got over this purple line here, even though we dipped under it just a little bit in late spring, fact of the matter is we got back over it, back tested it then perfectly late summer, right there with those 3 dips. Well, make a long story short, this was our target up here at about 33.70, and we called that target when we were down around 20 in the 2800s. It seemed a little bit like a stretch, but yet here we are now, a scant 40 points away from meeting that target, which at where we are right now at 33.29, that is about 1.25%. So we are just extremely close to making that target. And of course, we've got bigger fish to fry, because after a while, we backed out on this pattern just a little bit more and said, wait a minute, could this be a huge inverted head and shoulders pattern that just has this smaller pattern down here as part of its inverted head? And I think the answer to that is yes. So in addition to 33.70, we've got 38.40. Now, why don't we just take a look? There's our neckline right here. I'm going to extend that on out just a little bit. There's that neckline. We broke over it. Remember, I talked about about how perfect that back test was. Well, it was perfect. Now I move this line and I can't, it's just acting funky. So anyway, we are now at 33 in the 33.20s. We are probably about 40% the way to making this target. So, guys, this is just a real strong looking chart, and it seems every time there isn't some specific bad news, this market is predisposed to going up, and that's what these patterns are all about. You get a pattern like this, and once you get over that neckline, the winds are at your back, and I believe that's where we are right now. If we look at a 30-minute chart, we're going to zoom in here, and you'll see this parallel channel, roughly parallel, not exactly. It actually gets a little bit broader as we go up here, but you'll see we've got this parallel channel, and then we're going to zoom in a little bit more because we want to take a look at what now appears to be a smaller blue channel that has sort of taken the place, at least now, for the idea that this was an ascending wedge. So it's looking now more like an ascending parallel channel since we broke out over the top of that wedge, and we did so with relative ease. This past week we closed right very, very near to the highs of the week, also the highs of the day. And guys, everything just appears to be hitting on all cylinders. There's our 3370 target right there. And you can see if we keep this level of attack up, and that's a big if, but if we do, we probably reach that target by midweek. I don't want to say categorically, yeah, we are going to do that. But if we are in a rising channel, and, well, you know, let's move that just a little bit. Tell you what, I'm going to adjust this just a bit. I'm going to go here with this lower line and here with this upper line. And I'm going to revise my statement because I think if we stay inside this channel, it would probably be no sooner than Thursday for us to reach that target. So let's see how parallel this is. Actually, that is uncanny. I did not check to see if these lines were parallel. You saw me. I just adjusted them there to go across the tops and across the bottoms. And look at that. I don't see how you could get much closer than that to being absolutely parallel. So all of that to say, it looks like, yeah, this is a parallel channel. If we stay in the channel, then you know, we actually could, we should end up on the week, but not necessarily reach that target this week. We could, but I don't think it's a given at this point. So I take back what I said earlier. So basically, very strong week. We were up all week long. We in other words, we started near the lows of the week. Well, we started at the lows of the week, really, and we finished at the highs of the week. So this would be a solid green candle if you look at it on a weekly chart, which we're going to do right here. We're going to zoom in on it. There you have it. Come on, zoom in a little bit more. There's that candle right there. It almost has no tail or no tail, nor what do we call, I guess, a wick up there at the top of it either. Just a super strong week that we had right out of the box. So guys, let's just keep looking at this together. That's all I can really say. There's not that much to be said when things are going as we expect them to. So all I can say then is this is what we expected. This is what we're getting. So enjoy. With that, let me just say thanks for taking time out of your weekend to watch this. And if you are a subscriber, you get to see these videos just about every day. Not always. A couple times over the past weeks, I've just said nothing changes today. I don't want to waste your time or mine by doing a video if nothing has changed. So I know you understand that. But if you're not a subscriber, you get to do the little retrospective thing, and we see what we got right over the week. Whereas if you were a subscriber, then you could be enjoying it as it unfolds on a daily basis. So anyway, think about it. And with that said, thank you for looking at the video. Thank you for your support. And we'll see how this week unfolds for us. Will it do what we think? Well, stay tuned. Thanks again.